This video is problem number 4 on De Moivre's theorem. Hello students. So after completing problem number 3, let's start with problem number 4 on the De Moivre's theorem. So here I'll be finding the nth derivative of the given function with the help of De Moivre's theorem. So now here the value of y is given as 1 upon x square plus x plus 1, and we have to prove the following result. That is, we have to find out the value of nth derivative of y. So guys, here if you observe the value of y, then here in the denominator we have the quadratic equation, and whenever we have the quadratic equation in the denominator, that time we can't find out the nth derivative directly. So to get the nth derivative, we have to convert that quadratic equation to the linear equation, and then we can find out the nth derivative. So now the question is how to convert this into the linear equation. So guys, for that I'll find out the factors. Now the last number is 1, so if I try to find out the factors of 1, where the multiplication of two factors is 1 and the addition is equal to 1, so we won't get any factor. So it means factorization is not possible. So what is the other way? So in the other way, what I'll do is I will try to find out the last term of this quadratic equation. So this is the first term, this is the middle term. Now we'll find out the last term of the quadratic equation, and then we'll add that last term, we'll subtract that last term, and we'll try to find out the linear factors. So guys, what is the formula to find out the last term? So in any quadratic equation, the last term is given by the formula half into coefficient of x. So either here coefficient of x is 1, the whole square. So the answer is 1 upon 4. So guys, I am going to add this last term here in the denominator, and then I'll subtract it from the denominator. So I'll say y is, now guys, here first of all I'll add that last term which is 1 by 4. Then we have 1, so I'll write down that 1, and then I will subtract 1 by 4. So I have added and subtracted the last term from the denominator. Now let's see the first three terms. So these three terms form the quadratic equation. So guys, here I can say that this is equivalent to 1 upon, now this term is nothing but the square of x plus 1 by 2. So if you try to expand this bracket by using the formula of a plus b the whole square, you will again get these three terms. Now what is 1 minus 1 by 4? So guys, it is 3 by 4, but I will write it in the square term. So I will say it is plus root 3 upon 2 the whole square. So square of root 3 is 3 and square of 2 is 4. It means we'll get 3 by 4, that is this term. So now guys, here we got y as 1 upon x plus half the whole square plus root 3 by 2 the whole square. Now from this we will try to find out the factors. Now again, to get the factors of this is difficult since the middle sign is plus. So guys, if let's say middle sign is minus, then we can use the formula of a square minus b square, which you all know that it is a plus b into a minus b. So how to get it? So guys, here I'll do few more adjustment. So first of all, the thing is here in place of x plus half, I can substitute some x, some other variable, let's say some z or something like that. And here to get the factors, I will take the I square term so that I can make this sign as negative. So if I take that sign as negative, here I'll show you, if I take middle sign as negative and I will multiply it with I square, so I square is minus 1 and minus will become plus. So that thing I can do here. So by doing that, I will get y equal to 1 upon, let's say this is capital X the whole square minus I square into root 3 by 2 the whole square. So what I did here is, here I'll say where this capital X is x plus half. Now guys, by doing this, what we will get here is I square is minus 1 minus plus, so we'll get back this term again. But now due to this, now I have converted this into a form of a square minus b square. So guys, that will be a minus b into a plus b. So here I can say that my y is equal to 1 upon capital X plus I root 3 upon 2 into capital X minus I root 3 upon 2. So guys, these are the linear factors. Now, as we got the linear factors, let's try to find out the nth derivative. But again, we can't find the nth derivative. The reason is, here there are two linear factors. So it means we want only one linear factor in one term. So guys, it means we have to separate these linear factors in two terms. And for that, I need to perform the partial fraction. So guys, to get the partial fraction, you know the method. If you don't know the method, then you have to go back to my videos of partial fraction which I have taken for the diploma students, and you have to revise it back and find out the partial fraction of this term. But since we are learning this chapter in engineering degree, what we'll do is we'll find out the partial fraction of this term directly using the method of adjustment. So here I'll say y equal to, so in the bracket, 1 upon x minus I root 3 by 2 minus 1 upon x, so that this is capital X, plus I root 3 upon 2. So guys, what I did is I've written these two terms here in the denominator separately. Now we know that if I solve this bracket, if I take LCM of this bracket, then we should get this term back. So guys, for LCM we multiply crosswise and then in the denominator. So if I multiply in the denominator, I'll get this term. But let's say what we get when I do cross multiplication. So here I will get x plus I root 3 by 2 into 1 is x plus I root 3 by 2, and here I will get minus 1 into this, that is minus x plus I root 3 by 2. Now guys, this minus x and this plus x here will be cancelled. We will get I root 3 by 2 and I root 3 by 2. It means 2I root 3 by 2. So guys, we will get 2I root 3 by 2. So by cancelling 2 and 2, so here I'll show you that we will get 2 into I root 3 by 2 in the numerator. So by cancelling this 2 and 2, we will get I into root 3. Now guys, we don't want I into root 3 in the numerator, we want 1 in the numerator. And for that, I will divide here with root 3I. So root 3I and the root 3I of the numerator will be cancelled and we will get this term back. So guys, this is the value of y. Now from this value of y, we can find out the nth derivative of y. So guys, what is the nth derivative of this y? So which is yn, which is equal to 1 upon root 3I. Now guys, just take the denominator, it is linear factor and it is separated. So nth derivative of this term is given by a formula. Here I'll show you the formula. So it is given by the formula of minus 1 raised to n factorial a raised to n ax plus b raised to n plus 1 for 1 upon ax plus b. Now guys, here we have x minus I root 3 by 2. So value of a is 1 and the value of b is this. So we will get minus 1 raised to n into n factorial, then a raised to n, so a is 1, so 1 raised to n is 1, I will not write down, upon x minus I root 3 by 2 raised to n plus 1. Next, minus, here also we will get the same term, so minus 1 raised to n into n factorial upon x plus I root 3 by 2 raised to n plus 1. Now guys, from these two terms I can take minus 1 raised to n into n factorial outside. So therefore we will get value of yn as minus 1 raised to n into n factorial upon root 3I. And in the bracket we will get 1 upon capital X minus I root 3 by 2 Now guys, here this is the value of yn, but let's observe the question. So in the question we have to prove value of yn is this. Now the question is how to get this value. So guys, to get this value we have to do few adjustment. So if you observe here, then we have r raised to n plus 1 and we have a sign, but here we do not have that term. But definitely we have minus 1 raised to n into n factorial over here and root 3 is also there. So it means this complex numbers I have to convert it in terms of sine and cos, and we will do it with the help of complex number and there I'll use the concept of polar form and the De Moivre's theorem. So guys, we know how to convert a given complex number from Cartesian form to the polar form. So for that, we have real part as r cos theta and the imaginary part as r sin theta. So here I'll say this capital X, which is real part, is r cos theta, and let's say this root 3 by 2, which is the imaginary part, as r sin theta. So if I divide these two terms, then I will get tan theta, which is equal to root 3 by 2 into x. Now guys, we know the value of x because we have assumed it. So value of x is x plus half. So here we can say that this is nothing but root 3 by 2 into x plus half. So here we will get therefore the value of tan theta as root 3 by, this is 2x plus 1. So guys, this is the value of tan theta. Now let's square these two terms and add it. So here we will get x square plus 3 by 4 equal to r square cos square theta plus r square sin square theta, which is r square, because in bracket we'll get cos square theta plus sin square theta, which is 1. So guys, therefore from here we can say that value of r is under root capital X square, which is x plus half the whole square plus 3 by 4. So this is the value of r. Now guys, here this is the value of r. If you want, you can further solve it by expanding this bracket and adding 3 by 4 to it. So guys, let's come back here. So since I want this answer, here I have assumed x as r cos theta and root 3 by 2 as r sin theta. We'll put these two values here in this term. So first of all, I'll solve this first term. So we will get 1 upon capital X minus I root 3 by 2 whole raised to n plus 1 equal to. So that will become 1 upon, this term is r cos theta minus I root 3 by 2 is r sin theta whole raised to n plus 1. So here I've converted this number from Cartesian form to the polar form. So now r is common and we have power n plus 1, so we will get r raised to n plus 1 outside. So here I'll say it is 1 upon r raised to n plus 1. Next we have cos theta minus I sin theta in the bracket raised to n plus 1, and now I will apply the De Moivre's theorem, by which I will take this power inside, so that this will become cos of n plus 1 theta minus I sin n plus 1 theta. Next, I'll take this in the numerator, or you can say that I'll take the complex conjugate of this term and I'll multiply in numerator and denominator. So the complex conjugate of this term is cos of n plus 1 theta plus I sin n plus 1 into theta. So we will get the value as 1 upon r raised to n plus 1 into cos of n plus 1 into theta plus I sin n plus 1 into theta. Next, with the same term I will multiply in the denominator. So here I will get a form of a minus b into a plus b, which is a square minus b square, and that will become cos square plus sin square, which is 1. So in the denominator we will not get anything. So guys, this is the value of 1 upon capital X minus I root 3 by 2 raised to n plus 1. Now similarly, let's find out the second value, which is 1 upon, so plus I root 3 by 2 raised to n plus 1. So now guys, if you observe, these two terms are same, the only difference is the sign. So in the answer, this positive sign will become negative. So we will get 1 upon r raised to n plus 1 into cos of, so n plus 1 into theta minus I sin n plus 1 into theta. Now guys, here we have to subtract these two values. So what I'll do is I'll write down these terms as it is. So yn will be minus 1 to the power n into n factorial upon root 3i, and by subtracting these two values I will subtract these two values. So 1 upon r raised to n plus 1 common. If I subtract these two values, then this will become negative, cos and cos will be cancelled, this will become positive, so we will get 2i sine of n plus 1 theta. Now guys, we'll cancel I with I, this 2 will come here, and guys, if you observe the question, then we got the solution. So it means we have proved that the result or the value of y of n is 2 upon root 3 minus 1 raised to n into n factorial upon r raised to n plus 1 sine of n plus 1 theta. So guys, I'm sure you understood how I got the result, how I proved it by using the De Moivre's theorem. So just use the same method in the examination to get the answer, and also don't forget to share this video with your friends, because they can also get this nice explanation and they can also get this better videos from the Ekeeda. So we are working very hard to bring such videos for all the engineering students. So just spread these videos with your friends so that they can also get knowledge from the Ekeeda channel. Thank you guys. Keep watching next video, because in the next video I'm gonna cover more numericals on successive differentiation. Thank you.